welcome to another session of Metaphysical Anatomy A-Z, where we learn about the body to master our lives. And again, my name is Alison Kate, and today we're going to be talking about bladder. So B stands for bladder, and it also includes urinary tract infections or UTIs. So the bladder, the area of our body that's bladder and that goes down into the urethra, has its own microbiome, just like the gut has its own microbiome and our genitals have their own microbiome. It's a very unique area of the body that can be impacted by bacteria or other outside invaders coming up, and it can be also impacted from the intestines, the microbiome of the intestines, and any imbalance there coming down into the bladder. So it's a sensitive area. And today I want to talk about 4 main points that are the psychosomatic root causes often for bladder or UTI issues. So the first is irritation. A lot of people that suffer from bladder or UTI issues really feel pissed off in some way or another. Oftentimes we have authority figures in our lives or people that challenge us that we feel a lot of resistance to, and therefore anger and resentment can build up. But we also, part of us feels like we need to be obedient to these people in our lives, which creates this inner conflict that's challenging to navigate. And in that dynamic of authority figure and feeling that there's not the equality that perhaps we're looking for, we often can feel not validated or not having the validation that we truly deserve. So there's a lot of anger, resentment, and feeling pissed off or annoyed. The second point is aggression. So oftentimes when we feel stressed or we have the tendency to maybe feel ridiculed or punished or attacked, that we put up this wall of aggression. We sort of project aggression outwardly, which creates a boundary or a buffer to try to protect against that, to try to protect against being sort of dominated. And so aggression, where do we feel aggression? How are we digesting it? Is it moving through and out, or is it getting stuck in the body, specifically in the bladder? The third point I want to talk about specifically is related to infection or UTIs. A lot of times when we get an acute infection or this sort of cycles up in our bodies, we've had an argument or an interaction recently that triggers that old resentment to come back. So even if we kind of have it down or it's not in the forefront of our mind, then it can be triggered and come right back to the surface, which then triggers that whole feeling of irritation, of being sort of pushed down, that resistance to authority figures and not feeling validated. Also with infection, there can be a challenge with fully letting go. So oftentimes that when you go to the bathroom, you might not actually be fully letting go of your bladder, so that your bladder is holding on physically to a liquid that needs to be eliminated, as well as emotionally, these feelings that build up, and we don't let them go. We don't either find forgiveness or find a way to flow these feelings out of the body so that they're not getting stuck or stagnant as toxic energy in any one place. And the fourth element that I want to mention today is disgust. So disgust is also a common theme for people that suffer from UTI or bladder issues. And we can feel disgust, again, with those authority figures or anyone that we feel challenged by in a non-sexual way. And we can feel disgust related to sexual issues, such as guilt or shame for having sexual needs or certain sexual needs. And we can also feel disrespected by our partner, and some disgust with letting them in a sexual way, even though part of us really wants to be there, another part of us is resisting that, and there's an element of ickiness there or something feeling really off, and that existing in the body. So those were just some main thoughts for bladder issues. And if any of these resonate with you and or you're suffering from UTI or chronic UTI issues, I would be happy to chat more with you about metaphysical anatomy and even book a session. And I know that this was an issue in my own life for a while, and I'm really grateful to be past that because it's an uncomfortable situation to be dealing with. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below or reach out to me directly. I would be happy to chat with you more about this. So hope that was helpful, and I'll see you for the next episode soon. Bye-bye.